Growing up as Tiger Woods' son is both a blessing and a burden, a gift that shines as bright as it weighs heavy. From the moment Charlie first picked up a golf club, the world was already watching, measuring every move, every swing, every glance through the lens of his father's greatness. For most kids, golf is a game. For Charlie, it was an expectation. The comparisons were relentless, the stance, the swing, even the smile. People didn't just see Charlie Woods, they saw a reflection of Tiger. But what they failed to realize was that behind that familiar silhouette stood someone entirely his own, a young man with his own fire, his own drive, and a dream that wasn't borrowed, but earned. Every fairway he walked carried whispers of legacy and pressure. But Charlie didn't run from it. He embraced it, used it, and began shaping a story that no one saw coming, a story not of inheritance, but of identity. And as we look back at how it all began, you'll see exactly how this kid started turning the impossible weight of expectation into the fuel for something extraordinary. This was a kid grinding for his name, building something that couldn't be handed down or inherited. Every drop of sweat, every early morning on the range, every missed shot followed by another bucket of balls. That's the real story of Charlie Woods that is not just mimicking Tiger's greatness, his engineering his own. The difference is subtle, but powerful. Tiger's path was about conquering a world that doubted him because of who he was. Charlie's is about proving himself in a world that assumes it already knows who he is. And that's what makes his rise so fascinating. He's walking a line no one else in golf has ever had to, between legacy and independence, between history and destiny. Each swing isn't just about scoring, it's about silence, silencing critics, silencing comparisons, and silencing the idea that greatness can only be inherited. Because when you watch Charlie Woods play, you realize something. He's not trying to be Tiger Woods. He's trying to be the first Charlie Woods. And that difference changes everything. It was one of those moments that separates the good from the great. Hole 15, a tight par 4, guarded by water and framed by the kind of tension you could almost feel in the air. Charlie stood over his ball, eyes locked on the flag. The crowd held its breath. He didn't step back, didn't overthink it. One smooth swing, crisp, fluid, fearless. The ball cut through the air like it had a destination pre-written in fate. It landed softly on the green, rolled, and stopped just inches from the cup. Nearly an ace on a hole where most players were happy to walk away with par. The crowd exploded. But Charlie, he didn't flinch. No fist pump. No roar. Just that same quiet intensity. The same composure Tiger was famous for, now mirrored in his son, but with his own calm edge. Birdie. And just like that, he was tied for the lead. What followed was golf at its purest form, precision under pressure. Hole after hole, Charlie made it look effortless, not because it was easy, but because he had earned the right to make it look that way. Every swing told the story of a kid who had been preparing for this exact moment his whole life. By the time he walked up the 18th fairway, the crowd knew. They weren't watching a shadow of greatness, they were witnessing the rise of something new. A Woods, yes, but one writing his own legend, one shot at a time. The final stretch was pure theater. Every heartbeat seemed to echo through the gallery as Charlie made his way to the next tee. 3 holes left, tied for the lead, the air thick with tension. Most players his age would have cracked under the weight of that moment. He looked calm, almost serene, like he'd been waiting his whole life for this exact kind of pressure. Hole 16 demanded precision. A narrow fairway, trouble lurking on both sides. Charlie striped one right down the middle, textbook. His approach, even better. A perfect wedge that left him a 6-foot birdie opportunity. He read the line, took one deep breath, and drained it dead center. The crowd erupted again, but Charlie just nodded, expression steady. For the first time all day, he had the outright lead. On 17, he played it smart, a controlled iron off the tee. Safe par. But the calm before the storm had arrived. Because on 18, everything was on the line. One hole to define the story. One hole to silence the noise forever. Standing on that final tee box, sunlight breaking through the clouds, Charlie Woods wasn't chasing his father's shadow anymore. He was casting his own. The final 3 holes demanded nothing short of perfection, and somehow, unbelievably, Charlie Woods delivered. Every drive was laser straight down the middle, every approach shot struck with surgical precision. Every putt rolled as if he could see invisible lines no one else could. His composure never wavered, even as the stakes climbed higher with each stroke. When he finally tapped in the last putt to seal his victory, There was no wild celebration, no fist pump, just a quiet smile, a deep breath, and the unmistakable look of a young man who had earned every bit of it. This wasn't about his father's legacy or his last name. This was about Charlie, his discipline, his mental fortitude, and the heart of a true champion. And make no mistake, this wasn't a minor win against easy competition. He went toe-to-toe with the best junior golfers in the country, players hungry to take him down, and he didn't just survive the pressure. He thrived in it. His mental game, calm decision-making, and fearless execution proved that Charlie Woods isn't just following in greatness. He's building his OWN. Did I ask Charlie Woods going to be the next Tiger Woods? That's the wrong question, and honestly, it's unfair to both of them. Tiger Woods is a once-in-a-generation phenomenon who changed golf forever. But Charlie doesn't need to be the next Tiger. He just needs to be the first Charlie Woods. And from what we've seen, that's a legacy worth watching. The road ahead won't be easy. The pressure will only grow, the spotlight will get brighter, and every shot will be analyzed. But this performance proved one thing. Charlie has everything it takes. The skill, the composure, and most importantly, the heart. In a sport obsessed with lineage, Charlie Woods is carving out his own path, not as an echo of greatness, but as a fresh chapter built on grit, discipline, and belief. He's not asking for respect, he's earning it, one shot at a time. And after what he just did, the world should know, this young man isn't living in anyone's shadow anymore.